What's up, guys? Today is a chilly afternoon. I am in the garden because I had hinted in previous videos about getting some more beds to line the fence going down this way and around. If you are not new here, you know that I planted roses. I ended up planting roses at this is a weed, but this is a rose here, here, so on, and then there's one on the other side, or two. I had planted roses along the front end of my garden, but then I had the idea that I wanted garden beds here because my goats had got in here. Well, they put their head through and then they were able to like eat that rose as well as this one. And I just figured if I was going to line this end of or this fence of the garden, that I might as well line the whole fence of the garden. So you guys know that my other beds that I painted or spray painted, these colors, they're from Forever Garden Bed. I even did a collaboration with Keith when I hit 10,000 subscribers where he gave away a free garden bed. So once again, I reached out to Keith and told him about the project that I wanted to do, and so we are finally at that stage where we are going to be adding the rest of the garden beds to completely finish the garden. My hope is to definitely have the garden completed to full maximum capacity by next season. And so this summer I am definitely, or this over this winter, I'm going to be filling these beds up because it's going to take a lot. I haven't decided on whether or not I want to do a combination of just getting bag soil, or do I want to call in another bulk order of topsoil, because how I built my other beds, I did get a truckload of 10 tons of topsoil, 20 tons of compost, and then I had some bags of peat moss and like perlite and worm castings that I added in as well. But if you're familiar, I struggled a lot with the grubs, and it was from the compost, because the beds that had the most amount of compost had the most amount of grubs. Beds that I had more of the topsoil did not have the grubs at all. And so the thing about the topsoil that I was thinking about is that if I get that to help like fill a good amount of these beds, and then but still put wood chips at the bottom, then put some topsoil, and then maybe like some good bag soil, I'm wondering if I'll struggle with weeds a lot, because topsoil is really just the first layer of soil that they dig out of people's yards when they're gonna build a home or something like that. And so I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Or do I want to pick up thousands and thousands of loads of soil to fill these beds? I don't know. But the point is, I'm super excited. So I decided to go with a 3.5-foot bed here, because the reason why this area, let me back up so I can show you. So I have 2 beds here going all along, but then there weren't 2 beds here. It was because it wasn't going to be enough space to put 2 beds here. If you can see where that bed ends, our garden kind of comes in, and so it was basically going to be too close to the fence, I thought. And so I thought by putting this 2.5 or the 2-foot by 3.5-foot bed, I would still have enough space. I do need to move it over a little bit, but the soil was there, so I didn't. And then I thought maybe having a circle one here would be nice. I actually placed this order when one day my son and I were outside. We measured and everything, and I measured of how many beds I would need to fill up all the spots, and I didn't write it down. And so now me and my girls have just been opening the boxes, putting them together, and I'm going off memory of where I think I was supposed to be putting these garden beds. So it might change around a lot, but for now I'm putting them in their spot just to make a rough draft. And I did buy lots of spray paint in all different colors. I think I picked out like 12 different colors, and I'll be spray painting these beds. I did get 2 color beds, so I got this color that already is gunmetal. It comes that color. And then I got this green one over here. So these small ones are a 2 by 2. This one is a 2 by 3.5. And then the other size I got was 2 by 8. If I'm going off memory, I think there's supposed to be 8 of these 2 by 8 beds going down this way. And then I already have the one back there with a 2-foot one, because that was a 10-foot space. This right here was a 16-foot space. And so there will be 2 of these 8-foot beds. My girls right now are working on they were actually working on a 2 by 3.5 foot, but there will be one more 8-foot bed going along here. And then I'm not really sure how many 8-foot beds are going here. I think this bed is going to be moving, and it's going to only fit 2 8-foot beds plus this 2-foot bed. I definitely knew that my idea was always to have beds lining this fence, because originally this is where I wanted to plant tomatoes. I wanted to have the tomatoes along the fence, and so I thought it would be, originally I was going to do it in ground, but then when it started raining, I realized that my garden goes that way and it always puddles that way, and so I cannot do any in-ground planting that way. And so I immediately changed plans and decided that I wanted to do raised beds going along the fence. And I didn't do it this summer because I felt like it was going to put too much on me. I already was in a rush to build this garden so that we could start producing food and everything. And so I'm glad that I waited. I don't regret it. But now, over the winter, this will give me something to work on, because this is going to take lots of days. Even just putting the beds together is taking time to put them together, taking time to put them in their spot. And then once I have them in their spot, I'll spray paint them. Then today I was so happy. I've been signed up for Trip Drop for a long time, and I've only received, or actually the whole year that I've been here, I've actually only received 1 drop, and it wasn't a lot of wood chips. And saw that I had an email from the same company that dropped off wood chips earlier in the summer, and they actually had wood chips that they were bringing. So I actually got more wood chips, which was perfect timing, because I'll use those wood chips to put at the bottom of these beds, and then we'll go from there. I am hoping that it is enough wood chips to completely go into all of the beds. If not, that's completely fine. We'll use, since it is fall, we'll use lots of sticks and leaves that have fallen from the trees, and we'll go that route. But I'm so grateful for those wood chips. It came at the perfect time. So we still have, how many boxes is this? 3, 6, 8 boxes. So we still have 8 beds to build here, and then we've already built probably 8 beds, and my girls are bringing out another 2 beds to start building. So I've showed myself building these beds in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into like a full tutorial, but it's super easy. They come with these pieces. You pull the plastic off, which is what my girls are doing first. It comes with this tool to help tighten, and then it comes with these screws. So we have the screw, the washer, and then the nut, and that's what we use to connect the beds. So when you line them up, and then you would use, let's see, right there, and then that's how you build them. You would put the nut in, or the screw in, then the nut, and then, or the washer, and then the flat piece. And it comes with these instructions where it tells you what you can build with this bed. And so we are building this 2 by 3.5 foot. It even tells you how many cubic feet of soil it needs, or in yards. And then it also tells you that you could either build this 2 by 2 bed as well. And then on the side it just tells you on ways that you can fill your bed by using soil, compost, leaves, newspaper, uncoated cardboard, and I'll be using all of those things.
Hi, my name's Maya, and
my name is Naya.
And we're gonna go collect eggs. You want to be in the camera? I am going to get these eggs inside this basket. So there's this pinkish egg. There's this greenish egg. And this one's like a brown. This one is a blue type of color. This one is kind of like greenish blue. And this one is kind of green. Looks green. So that is all in that basket. Need to get the ones that are in here. Are you coming? Okay. There's a bluish egg. Brown one.
Okay.
Green one. You want to put this inside the bucket? Don't slam it down. And this one is like a greenish. Can you put this in the bucket? And I'm gonna see if there's any inside. And there's this pinkish egg. We got all the eggs.
Yeah.
I'll show you. We didn't count how much eggs there were.
Okay, as you can see, it is completely dark. My daughters have already started doing night chores and I'm about to help them, but I wanted to show you the progress we got done before I log off this. So this is what it's looking like so far. We have this side completely done. So I thought this was going to fit 2 8-foot beds, but it was actually 17 feet instead of 16. So I put an 8-foot, 2, 3.5, and then a 2-foot. And then this bed right here is going to eventually connect with this bed, but there's a rose there. So I didn't want to move it over completely for tonight, but for right now, that will do. And then we'll continue to add beds this way. So I'm going to step back, and so we'll have the beds going around the whole fence, and it already looks so good. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while we got some of these beds put together, and I just shared with you guys my vision and give you a piece of what it will look like when it's all finished. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.